right, we are back here at South Portland High School, and we had a great morning. We had sessions this morning. We had a couple you got to hear from Jenny Long and Mike Murr and Carl Hooker. We had a keynote that got us ready for the next sessions that are happening now, the lunch panel and the afternoon of learning as well. And one of the great things that makes this event so powerful is the people. We heard from some of our speakers. We had an amazing keynote, and now we get to hear more individually some of the presenters of the sessions that you're going to hear. So we're going to welcome one of those in right now. So I'm excited to welcome in Holly. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Well, you make it in okay this morning with all the weather?
Yeah, it was about an hour drive, and I did have a little bit of everything: sleet, snow, rain, wind.
I didn't think I'd have to run this morning, but I ran from the car. It was crazy. So for those who don't know you or your work, share a little about your journey in education.
So I have been in technology and education for probably over 25 years. I started as a classroom teacher in Maine, moved to New Hampshire in 1997, and stayed in New Hampshire for 25 years, working as a STEM teacher, as an instructional coach, and eventually as a director of technology. But I am back in Maine. I just moved back a year and a half ago. Our family's here. So I'm in a great district up on the mid-coast of Maine, RSU 40.
Oh, wow. And what is it about that work that really inspires you, the work that you do in your district?
So it's a very rural district. It's 7 schools spread across 5 towns, and we have everything from Friendship, Maine, with 68 students in a little elementary school, to our high schools and middle school, where all the towns kind of feed into. But there is a lot of need there. And I have found that when there's a lot of need with the students, and the work is so much more meaningful. I walked into classrooms and there were projectors on carts, which was a little bit different than what I was used to in my previous district. And so we have a lot of great things to do, a lot of great technology to bring to teachers.
That's wonderful. And so what are you bringing to teachers today? What is the session you're going to be doing?
The session I did this morning.
Oh, you did this morning?
Yeah.
Oh, right, because we had to switch around schedules.
Yep, it went really well. I presented to primarily, I would say there were a lot of district technology leaders, but there were also some teachers in that session as well. And we talked about 2 tools. One of those is the Teach AI Toolkit, which is a collaboration between, I think, code.org, CoSN. There were several organizations that put some time into that Teach AI Toolkit. And then the other piece I presented was CoSN's AI Readiness Checklist.
Oh, wow.
That's a collaboration with the Council of Great City Schools. So we just talked about those tool resources and really how you could use those as starters in your district to get the conversations going.
So besides the actual tools, and I know I'm in a role as an assistant superintendent, as I have to talk to individuals and really get them to change their mindsets. How do you approach that?
So it was interesting because I started the session by just saying, we have just begun in RSU 40 talking about this. And I think the conversations are what are so important. In the session, we had conversations, and there was just, people were really excited to talk about the challenges, the risks, and the potential. So I think weighing those pieces with our staff and with our leadership and getting everybody on the same page, really getting that basic literacy around AI is important when you're starting.
I like it. And so what is, you did a session, you were here now, and there's going to be more sessions throughout today. When you come to an event like this, as someone who presents, you have, information and you use it, what are you looking to take away from today?
So I'm excited to sort of explore some of the instructional tools that I really haven't had time to get into and think about, what makes the most sense to introduce our teachers to as we continue on with professional development. I'm also just want to hear where people are, the things they're struggling with, so that I think we can collaborate more as METDA, the tech directors in the state, working together. So just sort of having those takeaways and that reflection so that we can all move forward down this road.
And as someone who uses this and works with the district, how have you seen students start to incorporate this in their learning?
So I think there are a lot of equity issues. I also think that it really depends on where you are in the state, as far as how students are using it. We want to survey our students. We haven't done that, but I want
Okay.
to actually see how many students are using ChatGPT, how
Mhm.
many students are using other AI tools that they may not be aware of. I think affluent districts may have more students using AI
Mhm.
than districts that don't have that affluence and have more poverty and free reduced lunch rates. So I do think that's important to kind of gauge where we are and then what we want to introduce them to. So
Wonderful. And how have you used it? Is there something you have used that is like, I can't live without this?
I have used, I'm probably where a lot of other people are. I've used ChatGPT. I use it a lot. I'm trying to use some of the other generative AI tools. I just got into Magic School because people
Mhm.
kept talking about it in our district. And I think it's EduAid is the next one that we're sort of
Okay.
looking at. But
Awesome. Well, there's a lot out there. There's a lot to learn here. Thanks for stopping by, sharing a little about yourself, your work, and I hope you have the rest of the day. If you don't follow Holly yet, make sure to check her out. Her Twitter handle is scrolling below, and make sure to continue to tune in throughout the day today as we have three more speakers coming in before lunch, and we're going to hear about their learning and how they're using AI as well. So, Holly, thanks for stopping in. And for those out there, we have a few viewers checking in now, and make sure to watch on the replay if you hadn't had a chance to watch this live. Continue to push yourself and continue to collaborate for our field.
thank you.
Thank you.